All right, let's move on to Lakers Magic, the Christian Wood effect. So we talked about this after the loss to the Kings 2 nights ago, but the Lakers have a problem right now with defensive rebounding. Their backcourt is extremely unathletic, as I've been talking about all summer, and because Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura are both out with injuries right now, you're leaning heavily on Taurean Prince at the 3, and he's thin and not a good rebounder. He's a okay perimeter defender and a very good spot-up player, which brings advantages on the offensive end of the floor. He's been one of the guys on offense that's actually played pretty well for the Lakers this season, but he doesn't help you in those physicality areas of the game. And so right now, they're struggling with getting stops and failing to secure defensive rebounds on the back end, especially a predicament where Anthony Davis, one of two things is happening with Anthony Davis. He's either switching onto the perimeter and getting a stop, but they can't get a rebound on the backside after because he's pulled away from the basket, or in pick and roll, AD's getting too consistently engaged on the ball because the perimeter defenders are dying on screens and not doing a good job fighting over the top. So AD's having to leave Wendell Carter Jr., or whoever it is on the back line, and he's giving up solid rebound position in the process. As long as they can get the shot over AD, Wendell Carter Jr., or whoever it is that's in the back line, depending on who they're playing, is getting easy offensive rebounds. And so one of the things that we pitched after what happened in the Phoenix Suns series is, hey, just play Christian Wood more, because Christian Wood kind of brings to you the offensive potential of the ability to knock down an open shot, make a play attacking closeouts. He had a really smart play down the stretch on D'Lo's kind of soon-to-be game winner that put the Lakers up 104-103, where Anthony Davis made a kick-out pass to him out of a double team, and he pump faked and then did a wraparound pass to D'Lo that hit him right in the shooting pocket for the shot that ended up winning the game. It was a really smart kind of like offensive skill play from Christian Wood. He's not hurting you on offense, and he's providing some key elements on the defensive end of the floor, particularly defensive rebounding. So far, Christian Wood, when he's playing with Anthony Davis and LeBron in the front court, the Lakers are plus 10 in 7 minutes, a 127 offensive rating, a 50 defensive rating. That's a plus 77 net rating. They're grabbing 55% of available rebounds, and almost all of those are in crunch time minutes when the game slows down against the opposing team's best players and in really physical, intense playoff-esque basketball. Now, again, will they outscore teams by 77 points per 100 possessions all season with that trio? Obviously not. But to me, that's a really encouraging example of a lineup they could use in late game situations to confront their rebounding issues, at least in the short term until Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura come back into the equation. Jared Vanderbilt's kind of like the perfect guy theoretically in this position because he can provide a lot of that high-end perimeter defense and help you with crashing and defensive rebound situations while at the same time just upping your overall athleticism. And again, that will come down to his offensive performance, and he made some strides in preseason, so we'll see how it actually shows up in the regular season. But I think in the big picture, Vanderbilt ends up being the guy. But in the short term, while you're waiting for him, and then maybe in the big picture, if he continues to play this well, Christian Wood's a really good option there at the 3. And he's doing a lot. He's providing that defensive rebounding piece, right? He's also providing secondary rim protection. He talked about after the game how he's waiting for AD to go up to block shots, knowing that if they pump fake or if they get an offensive rebound, he's there on the back end to either, I shouldn't say get an offensive rebound, he's there after the shot over AD to either get the defensive rebound, or if they pump fake AD out of his shoes, he can step over and provide that second layer of rim protection. And then he's also been pretty solid on the perimeter. He guarded KD down the stretch of that game against the Suns, and then he also had a couple of key perimeter stops, including a big one against Paolo Banchero, down the stretch of this game. He's just good at baiting guys into pull-up jump shots and then using his deceptive length to contest shots. And basically what it amounts to is it's a big lineup, right, with a second big next to AD, but one that can respectably space the floor and attack closeout. So you have the advantages rebounding and defensively that you get from more size on the floor, with the offensive advantages you get from more perimeter skill. Late game execution was solid in this game. Remember, we talked a lot after the Kings game about, they need to, run more through AD because these guards are missing these shots. And what did I say? I pushed back and I said, LeBron's doing his job. He's drawing multiple defenders and getting the defense in rotation. And then the Lakers are generating wide open threes. Like against the Kings, it was like wide open Gabe Vincent threes, wide open Taurean Prince threes, wide open D'Angelo Russell threes. Those are wide open threes for great shooters. and they just missed him. And then everyone was like, you got to go through AD more. You got to go through AD more. And I said, it doesn't matter. Even if he gets a bucket in the post, whoever the coach is going to start throwing the kitchen sink at AD, and you're going to have to make shots on the weak side. Well, what happened? Anthony Davis post up left block 103 to 102 or 103 to 101. The Magic double along the baseline. AD has to get rid of the ball, swings the ball to Christian Wood. Christian Wood makes the extra pass to D'Angelo Russell. Same wide open three that D'Lo missed in overtime that would have put the Lakers up by 2. Same one. Wide open, little bit on the right wing. And he knocked it down this time. Again, like I told you guys, settling for jump shots off the bounce is totally different. Like when LeBron James takes those step back threes, and by the way, he took 2 of them down the stretch and he made 1 of them. So that's 3 points in 2 possessions, right? But like when LeBron James is settling, that's settling, right? Technically, he could make a more aggressive downhill move to try to draw multiple defenders for a kick out 3 or try to get all the way to the rim, right? That settling, I'm 100% with you guys. And LeBron's going to have to shoot the way he's been shooting, and we're going to talk about it in a second because he shot really well in crunch time. He's going to have to shoot that well in order for that shot to make any sense. But if they're drawing multiple defenders, the right read is to kick to shooters. That's the team construct. LeBron, Anthony Davis, rim pressure, teams are going to pack the paint, guys have to make shots. And again, like it's a make or miss league in a lot of ways, but like again, make or miss is a lot about process and which players. Like if you generate high quality shots for good shooters in the big picture, you're going to make them more frequently. And after I said after the Kings game, if the Lakers continue to generate wide open threes for D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and Taurean Prince, and Austin Reeves, or whoever it is, if they keep generating wide open threes, they're going to win a lot of games because those are good shooters, and they should eventually get to the point defensively where they can get enough stops on the other end of the floor. But D'Lo made it. That's the difference. They won this game because of that. It's not about who initiates. As long as LeBron or AD are both drawing multiple defenders, it's going to be the same result. Guys have to make shots. Lakers in the clutch so far this season, 2-1. A 98 defensive rating, which is really excellent when you consider how bad they were in the Kings game. They had like a 124 defensive rating in the Kings game in clutch time. So they've been really good in the clutch when Christian Wood's on the floor. The other 2 clutch games are the Suns game and this Magic game. Christian Wood was out there for those ones. They were excellent defensively in the clutch. So basically, really good defensively in the clutch in the games where Christian Wood played, not so much in the game where he didn't. Offensively, that also coincided with the game where all the skilled players missed shots. That's the perfect recipe for the Lakers to blow a 4-point fourth quarter lead as they lose to the Kings, right? But the Lakers so far have a plus 20 net rating in clutch situations through 3 games. LeBron in the clutch so far has 20 points when the game is within 5 with less than 5 minutes left. That is tied for Luka Doncic for the most in the league. He's 8 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 2 for 4 from the free throw line. And again, I thought he did his job against the Kings too, drawing multiple defenders and kicking to wide open shooters. This is big because last year LeBron was not a good clutch player. He had a rough season in that regard. This is a small sample size, but so far this season, LeBron has been much better making shots and making decisions at the end of games in clutch situations for the Lakers. NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. And with DraftKings parlays, everyone's got a shot at an even bigger basketball win. String together multiple bets from the same game or build your parlay across multiple games for a shot at making your payday even sweeter. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code HOOPS. The crown is yours.
For a limited time, Verizon customers can get Netflix and NFL Plus for just $25 a month. It's called Plus Play. That's $120 in annual savings. Plus Play is a platform where Verizon customers can shop, manage, and save on the subscriptions that you already love, right? Like Netflix and NFL Plus. With NFL Plus Premium, you get access to live games on mobile, my fave, NFL Red Zone, NFL Network, and more. Just go to Verizon.com/plusplay. Verizon.com/plusplay Plus play to save on Netflix and NFL Plus today for a limited time only now. Limited time only.
Anthony Davis. I don't remember where I put him in my player rankings. It was either 6 or 7. I think I had him at 6 if I remember correctly. But a lot of people reacted and said, you have him too high. And what I keep trying to point out to everybody is like you're pairing legitimate offensive production with top tier defensive production. But let's look at the offensive production first. Anthony Davis so far this season, 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's third in rebounding in the league, third in blocks in the league at 2.8 per game, and he has a 61% true shooting percentage. So he's been efficiently scoring 26 points per game while also being one of the best rebounders, top 3 rebounder in the league. And he's putting together one of the best defensive seasons so far, again, small sample size, that you'll see. And the reason why I say that is this Laker team has been absolutely atrocious on the perimeter defensively. LeBron is still coast mode. Totally get why he's a million years old, right? But Taurean Prince and Gabe Vincent are helping you on Taurean Prince, Gabe Vincent, D'Angelo Russell, and Austin Reeves are all getting cooked on the perimeter consistently. They're dying on screens. They're not boxing out. They're not paying attention to their man in the ball. A huge problem in this particular Magic game was guys like Markelle Fultz and Jalen Suggs crashing from the perimeter, not just on offensive rebound situations, but also on cuts. Like a guy'd be driving the lane and Taurean Prince would just kind of be standing looking like this, and the dude would just cut right behind him for a layup. That's happening way too much. The perimeter defense is atrocious for the Lakers, and yet they still have been the 13th best defense by defensive rating in the regular season so far, and the 7th best defense in the clutch so far, literally because of Anthony Davis and what he can do to clean up messes, to clean up the defensive glass. He's putting on the mother of all cleanup jobs on the defensive end of the floor, while also putting up 26 points and 14 rebounds, while also doing a really nice job creating his own shots so far this season. He's run 32 post-ups and ISO so far, leading to 41 points. That's a point and a third per possession. That's excellent. He's finally starting to make his touch shots around the rim. Coming into last night, he was just 6 for 20 in the paint outside of the restricted area. So like short paint shots, right? He was 6 for 20 going into last night. He was 6 for 7 last night, starting to get his touch back there. I think he's the best defender in basketball. I think he's proving that he belongs in the conversation with the best players in the league. But in the big picture, the Lakers are still playing pretty bad basketball, and they're going to be in trouble if they don't clean some things up before they see the Clippers on Wednesday. Austin Reeves is slumping hard. This is a guy who I thought was easily the 3rd best player on the Lakers last year and was probably the 2nd or 3rd best player on Team USA this summer, and he's playing like shit. He doesn't look explosive off the bounce. I don't know if he's dealing with a nagging injury or if he's just a little fatigued from everything that went on this summer. D'Angelo Russell hinted in his post-game interview that Austin's kind of trying to get his legs back underneath him, but it's affected him in a bunch of other ways because he's been a much better defensive player in his career than he's been this season. He's really struggling on that end. His rhythm and confidence look shot. He's really struggling to be impactful offensively with the ball, and he's missing all of his catch-and-shoot threes. It's been a rough season for Austin. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that players become bad overnight. I think Austin's going to get it together and he's going to be fine. But until he does get it together, that's the Lakers' 3rd best player playing like shit, and that's going to hurt them in the big picture in terms of their night-to-night ceiling. Overall, as a team, the perimeter defense is awful. I've talked about this. Navigating screens has been bad. Handling perimeter athleticism from guys cutting and crashing the glass is bad. The transition defense has been bad. Everything has been really bad on the perimeter defensively. D'Angelo Russell's the worst culprit. He had a really rough game last night. Jalen Suggs just took it to him. He made up for it by making a bunch of big plays in the 4th quarter on the offensive end of the floor, but he gave damn near just about all of it back on the defensive end. I mean, even his game-winning shot came right after a play where he lost Jalen Suggs on a basic dribble handoff for a wide open 3. And so like D'Lo is still all over the place. This is a guy who said he wanted to be like Derek White on defense, and he just hasn't put his money where his mouth is yet. And then lastly, the shooting. This is a team, I don't think they're going to be a great shooting team, but they also shouldn't be a bad shooting team. The three of the starters they've been using are all well above average catch and shoot 3-point shooters that are all just not shooting particularly well. So when Austin Reeves gets it together, when as a team they start defending better, and when they start knocking down shots, that's when things will go up a level from there. But to be 2-2 in spite of all of that, not a bad place to be for playing really bad basketball, but they are going to drop to 2-3 on Wednesday if they don't fix a bunch of those issues quickly, because the Clippers are playing some good basketball right now. Moving on to the Orlando Magic. I love this team. They can't shoot. Right now, they're 24th in threes made per game and 22nd in three-point percentage. And that's definitely hurt their half-court offense at times. It's a lot of Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter, and Markelle Fultz missing jump shots right now. But that, again, like that's kind of going to be something they deal with throughout the season. However, they've got a lot of advantages, particularly with their size and athleticism. They are huge. They are athletic at every position group. They play hard. They play physical. These are some crazy stats about their defense right now. They're the best defense in the league in defensive rating, and they're the only team in the league allowing fewer than 100 points per 100 possessions. They are third in rebounding percentage. They are sixth in offensive rebounds per 100 possessions. They are fourth in opponents' points in the paint per 100 possessions. They are seventh in defending the three-point line, both in three-pointers made by opponents and opponent three-point percentage. They are third in steals per 100 possessions, and they are the second best transition defense in the league. So they are just cleaning house in all of the margins of the game with all of their size and athleticism. Again, Wendell Carter is a good starting center in this league. Paolo and Franz bring this huge rim pressure element to the team. Paolo's been a very good post player throughout his NBA career. Franz is this big playmaking forward, right? And then Fultz and Suggs bring real downhill athleticism. D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves got their asses kicked last night just by those two guys beating them off the dribble, beating them off of cuts, beating them on the offensive glass. Markelle Fultz was even just picking them apart in pick and roll. There was a sequence down the stretch where he actually played Austin Reeves off the floor, where he basically gets downhill and makes an easy layup over Anthony Davis. Then Anthony Davis steps up and they both go to the ball, and he throws a lob to Wendell Carter Jr. for the easy dunk, right? Then Markelle Fultz just starts caving Austin's chest in for an easy hook shot in the lane. They were just getting bucket after bucket after bucket. They couldn't do anything with that Markelle Fultz, Wendell Carter pick and roll. And they actually played Austin Reeves off the floor. And that's the cool part, is like Fultz is your third best perimeter initiator. And he took over the offense late and made a bunch of huge plays to get them back into this game. And they probably had a good chance to win that game if Jalen Suggs just makes a better rim decision there down that final possession. He just decided to challenge AD. Big mistake. There was an easy drop-off pass to Wendell Carter right in the dunker spot. It's probably what he should have done. But this is a fun team. They are 2-1 right now, despite both Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero playing poorly. They're both shooting below 40% from the field. And they bring a bunch of athleticism and size off the bench as well. Like Cole Anthony and Gary Harris are a pretty athletic backcourt, especially for a bench group. Gary Harris is 7 for 11 on catch and shoot threes so far this season. Catch and shoot jumpers, I should say. And that lineup is tied off. So you got Cole Anthony and Gary Harris, but then you've got Mo Wagner at the center position who's playing well. And then you have Joe Ingles and Jonathan Isaac in there as like good, lanky, rangy wings on the perimeter. So that lineup right now is plus 23 points net in 53 possessions. Excellent on both ends of the floor. They feel like a playoff team to me. I mean, like they're going to win a lot of games, even if they don't shoot particularly well. And if those guys start to take steps up as jump shooters, especially as Franz and Paolo start playing better offensively, they're going to be even tougher to beat. Don't be surprised. They play the Clippers tonight. Don't be surprised if they beat the Clippers tonight. That's on the table. That's something that team is capable of doing.